Second heat of the day for Cymoto Mini Bike 140. Let's have a look at how they line up. Reece Stevenson from Will Lathrope, Ben Lord, Richard Holmes-Williams in 4th, Mick Lord and Michael Med in 6th position. Aaron Sadler in 7th from Stuart Hardman, Gary Jacobs and Tom Stanford rounding out the top 10. Ian Stanford 11th from Rob Overend. Down into the midfield we have Ian Blatchford, Tony Reveley, Mark James Cockfield, Darren Coleman, Max Parry and Dan Baker in 18th place. Jamie Merchant, Stephen Blatchford, Charlie Denton, Ryan Clark, Steve Merrin and Bobby King in 24th. Dan Merrin. And a bit further back, 1 or 2 Believer non-starters, Adam Renning, Chris Edwards, Ben Riley. And one or two riders, I believe, not taking the line here. Difficult part of the championship, I would say, Dave. It's the later part of the year. We've had injuries and riders struggling to make the pace sometimes. So this is really where it really counts, just that last push to try and get a good position in the championship. Yeah, it does. I think with the fuel shortage and people getting here, and I had phone calls of people saying that they couldn't get fuel and they drove 4 hours to get fuel just to put in their bikes. It's made it a more challenging weekend than probably was planned, let's say. Very difficult one, and still an impressive lineup nonetheless as we await the start of this Cymoto's Mini Bike 140. Stevenson getting away a little bit slow on the inside, but he's done enough to hold on to the lead. Lathrope 2nd, Holmes-Williams looks like in 3rd, although Mick Lord I think's got through to 3rd possibly. Very close. And that's Ben Lord in there as well. Ben Lord, yeah, Ben Lord's in 3rd, yeah. So pretty close start here, and 3 of the top riders getting away well there, though. Yeah, there should be from there. If they can just get their head down now, just create a bit of a gap and then potentially have a battle between themselves. Again, you've got the Will Lathrope, Ben Lord, Reece Stevenson, Will Lathrope. 2 very fast riders. Obviously, Reece got taken out in a race earlier on, foot down, going into the final corner. Ben Lord been very fast for the last couple of years, so he'll be wanting to do something in this as well. Reece Stevenson, of course, saw him earlier in the Talent Cup was riding, wasn't he? And he seemed to acquit himself quite well. Yeah, he's a good rider. He's obviously learning his craft, and stepping up into the British Talent Cup is a big step. But it shows how hard he's working. To from 25th, 23rd, 22nd to 5th, 6th, and 7th, or whatever he's getting at the moment, just shows how hard he's working. So when he comes back and jumps on a mini bike, this is fun for him. He can come and have fun and let his hair down a bit and just enjoy himself. Interestingly, yesterday he just come into the last corner on the track. He hit a egg that someone had left on the track, and it splattered all up his leather. So he was upset yesterday. But really nice lad, really nice family, and he deserves to be there because he's working hard. And of course, the rider behind him as well, Will Lathrope, former BSB 600 class rider, and he's not in the class not through lack of talent. It's just a bit unfortunate for him that he can't quite get it's the way it goes, sadly, sometimes. He can't get the funding to have a real go at it. So he's showing what he can do here and making a good battle of it here as well. Yeah, like we said earlier, the cost to go big bike racing is expensive. That's why a lot of the guys learn their craft in this environment, because it's safe. It's a safe environment for them to do so. And it's competitive. So competitive racing is going to help you at any level, right? So for him to come here today, to be racing Reece, Ben Lord behind him, who's won titles at British Mini Bikes, it's great. And that's, again, it's pushing the class on it. Lap records are getting beaten year after year after year because people are just getting better, the talent's getting better. Very competitive, and Reece Stevenson, notably on that final corner, running very wide. He's got a very sweeping line out to the final corner. It seems to be working for him, because at the moment Will Lathrope can't find a way through. He's hovering on that back wheel. Yet again, we've got another very close battle here. And Will Lathrope just trying to find a way past the leader 1, 2, 3 Reece Stevenson into the final corner now. And let's see if he does that line again. So Stevenson sweeping out, you see him again there though. Lathrope this time going a bit wider, and Stevenson fastest lap of the race. Ben Lord still in there in 3rd, 1.2 seconds adrift. Richard Holmes-Williams, Michael Med, Mick Lord, Stuart Hardman, Gary Jacobs, Tom Stanford and Ryan Clark rounding out the top 10. Bobby King, Rob Overend, Chris Edwards a bit further behind. And looking at this here, Ben Lord just trying to keep up with these 2 leaders who are running a very fast pace. Yeah, Ben's a great rider. He'll try and tag on, but he'll be aware of the space he's in as well. Know if he's in space, so he'll be doing that. He doesn't race to go slow, so he'll be trying his best to get on the back of them. But the 2 at the front really are wanting to win, and they are pushing on. So
And already they are closing up on the back marks. We've got Dan Baker and Ian Stanford at the back of the field, about to be closed up by these riders already. And to be fair, those back markers circulating at a pretty decent pace is just going to show how quick the two leaders are going, that already tail enders could be very aggressive again over the curbs. And Lord, it's just to the different lines there. Both Stevenson and Lathrop very aggressive cutting that curb.
Yeah, he seems to attack that second curb, and I think with these corners you can sacrifice one part to gain in another, and that's really working for him because he seems to pull a gap by attacking them curbs that way, and I think he just likes jumping the bike, to be honest.
I think there's a bit of fun in there as well, isn't there? Very aggressive line as they start to pick their way through the tail enders. So Baker and Stanford going a lap down. There is the number 18 of Charlie Denton. Oh, and that's a bit of bad luck there because Denton right on the racing line, and again just holding his line, letting the faster riders get through, and that has allowed Rhys Stevenson just to pull a small gap there. So yet again, almost the lottery where you encounter the slow riders working in Stevenson's favour. Yeah,
just as you're hitting the apex of the corner, you find yourself tucked in behind a back marker. It is a nightmare because you want to go for it, but it can end in disaster. But luckily, these guys, you know, they're picking their way through really nicely actually, and Will's already caught up to the back of him already, as you can see. So he's not managed to break away just yet.
Nice move there from Will Lathrop to dive down the inside of the back marker. It was a bit of tactical aggression, I might say, to get that front wheel in there just to stay with the race leader Stevenson, who they both pulled away now actually from Ben Lord, as Richard Holmes-Williams taking advantage to close up in fourth place with Michael Med and Mick Lord in there as well. Stuart Hardman, Gary Jacobs and Ryan Clark a bit further behind with 5 laps to go. So Rhys Stevenson pulling 0.6 of a second there, but still too close to call. And there's certainly no margin for error as Richard Holmes-Williams still closing up on Ben Lord. Mick Lord and Stuart Hardman a bit further behind as well. At the moment though, Rhys Stevenson 0.6 of a second ahead last time round. Let's have a look at the lap times when they come back round once again. As the slow rider puts the hand up, concedes the corner, and looks like he's out of the race actually. So Rhys Stevenson over the line. And let's have a look at Lathrop. Oh, just losing a little bit of pace there. So Rhys Stevenson just pulling the gap up to 1.6 seconds. So Ben Lord still third, Richard Holmes-Williams, Michael Med, Mick Lord and Stuart Hardman. And, well, yeah, I didn't see Lathrop make a mistake there, but he's lost a second on Rhys Stevenson.
Yeah, I don't know if that was back markers or not. So one's gone down. I'm not sure who that is, but there's a guy lining the tyre wall.
Yeah,
that
so
looks like Jacobs, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Gary Jacobs dropping down the race order. Max Parry, I think, was the rider who retired from the race. So up at the top corner, then, that was Gary Jacobs that went down just on the edge of the top 10. Rhys Stevenson, fastest lap of the race there, 42.795. As we look at Richard Holmes-Williams, who has slowly but surely been closing up on Ben Lord in third place. 3 laps to go here. And Richard Holmes-Williams, who's been on great form today, starting to pressurise Ben Lord for third.
Yeah, and when you see a waved yellow flag, the guy in front, does he roll off? Does he not roll off? Is that your time to just close up a bit of time? So you can see that Richard Holmes-Williams is right on the back of Ben Lord now, so I don't know how tentative Ben went through that area, but Richard Holmes-Williams just closed right in. Obviously couldn't make an overtake, but put him in a great position as we come into the end of this race.
Having a look on the inside there, the smoke coming from the bike there. I don't know if that was...
Yeah, his bike to smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier.
It's just the fuel mixture, I suppose. Nothing to worry about then.
We hope not.
Hopefully not, yeah. Oh, having a look on the inside of Lord.
Just seems to be smoking a lot there at the moment.
Yeah. Even for the mixture, just seems... Well, it doesn't seem to be affecting the pace so far, so let's hope it's nothing too serious. And that was the 205, my apologies. Gary Jacobs that went down, rider okay, so the race goes on. And Holmes-Williams all over the rear wheel of Ben Lord here as the battle of a first and second settles down a bit now. 1 lap to go for the race leader as they make their way past. I think it was Mark James Cockfield in 14.
There's quite a lot of back markers that they've gone through as well, so maybe that's what spread them out a little bit. So they've gone through 3 or 4 back markers now, and Rhys has obviously cut straight through and takes his aggressive lines through them, and Will's just trying to follow him through.
So Rhys Stevenson looking in good form here as he increases the gap to 1.7 seconds. Ben Lord at the moment holding on to that position, so Rhys Stevenson just got to take his time here, not make any mistakes as he goes round the outside. I think that may possibly have been Dan Merrill or Chris Edwards. Coming into the final corner now though goes Rhys Stevenson, Checkered flag now being readied. And Reece Stevenson on the 1-2-3 takes another race victory. Great afternoon for him. Will Lathrop chasing him to the line, and here comes the battle for third. It's going to be close, but it looks like Lord holds on. Holmes Williams and Michael Med. Good battle to the line there, Dave.
Yeah, it was. Michael Med made up a lot of time in the end. So again, the back markers, this field's really got spread out. So you don't know who you're letting someone through. Is it someone you're riding against, or is that someone who's fast coming from the back? So yeah, it got a bit complicated in the end. But yeah, good ride from the top 6 there. They were all fairly close.
The trouble is, of course, if you're running in the midfield and the leaders are coming through, of course, etiquette says to concede the corner, let those guys through, but you don't want to mess your own race up in the process.
Yeah, sometimes you're having your own battle, like you said earlier, and you roll off, let someone through, and then all of a sudden you can't get back. So it's trying to find a nice place to let someone through without compromising your own race. And some people do it really well, and some people don't. So
I suppose that's where the racecraft comes in, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that was the Cymoto Minibike 140.